Hey guys, subscribe for daily content, and if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks!
What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got another short little unboxing video to share with you guys. This is one that I am late to the game on. It was Neves who recommended that I take a look. He did not tell me what he thought of it, and I didn't watch his video. He said you should definitely take a look at it, and that was intriguing to me. So I finally got an opportunity thanks to eKnives, who loaned this to me for review. It'll go back. I don't get to keep it. Thanks to eKnives. If you want to check this out, or honestly, there's a ton of stuff at eKnives. If you've never gone to eKnives, go look. It's awesome. I'll link it down in the description. It does help my channel when you use those links, but that's up to you. Thanks to my patrons for supporting me. What do we have here from Reate? We have the Zoro, finally. Limited run. This is number 179 of 300. So this is a batch of 300. To my knowledge, this is a full-size folder, but not a bulky one. Here we go. Here it is. The knife that it's always easy to pick this out on a retail site because it has the very interesting captive pivot here. Oh, there's some milling right here. That's interesting. Did not realize that. So on both sides, no contouring, just heavy chamfering, beveling, whatever you want to call that. Edges look a lot sharper than they actually are. These are actually all really nicely knocked down. Very interesting backspacer. Look at this. We have, sorry, I said look at the backspacer and then I turned it. We have a backspacer that has no boring parts. There's intricate milling on every single part of the backspacer, and I believe it's at least partially floating, meaning you can see, yeah, so that's cool. There's a taper from here down. It actually gets thinner, so it kind of looks like it's, you know, floating. Can you see my hands through there? Very cool. Bevels on either side coming up to here, and then we have a little fuller, a little blood groove, which doesn't make sense for a for a backspacer. And then we have a very intricate or interesting lanyard area. It makes me think of Shogorov. If you're going to do something to accommodate for lanyard people, at least make it aesthetically pleasing for people who are not going to use it. This is something that I appreciate. A big stupid hole in the middle of your knife just looks dumb. To me, I don't like that at all. It really takes away aesthetically from the potential of the design, especially when the design is really designy. We have a pocket clip that's also got some nice detail to it. You can see there, this shifts down, or shifts. I mean, it sort of tapers down, and then you have a nice little open area. Actually, these areas up on the side are also milled and lipped. That's interesting. This pocket clip is quite a bit more detailed when you look at it. More milling here and here. M390 blade. Reate typically does a really good job with M390 steel lock bar insert. Okay, enough. Yeah, look at that. That is about the best, the most classic compound harpoon tanto. I'm a huge fan of the straight compound harpoon tanto. They did a great job with it on the T1000. I thought it was really great. When they added the recurve, I was like, yeah, you know, I think the straight edge looks really good. This is beautifully thin behind the edge. I wonder if Jared was positive about that plunge grind. Pretty good. I'm learning, you know, not through like aggressive sharpening, but just by being able to pick it out, you know. It does widen out a bit, but I bet it looks like there's some pretty good life in it. That's a really nice satin finish. As I've said many times, there's a few companies, you know, everybody does a decent satin finish. There's a few companies who do it better. ZT Kershaw, in my opinion, absolutely superior. Their satin finish is so satin. It's like diamond. It's like beyond, you know, I don't even know what color to call it, right? But Reate also does an absolutely incredible satin finish. Really nice. So this is not a finger tool. It's not quite big enough, in my opinion. I mean, you could force it, I guess. But nice and comfortable in here. I do like that big swedge. And we have the flat grind out here on, I guess, it's not quite a Japanese tanto in it. I guess, is it? I don't know why I'm saying things incorrectly today. But I guess it's still more of an American tanto. So the access to the lock bar, unfortunately, is not cut out to be more accessible from this. Like usually I like to see this cut lower, but there's enough space in here and there's enough of a spot right here that you can easily move it out of the way. No double clutch or anything like that. Nice and smooth, actually a little bit smoother than I expected it to be. Reate typically comes pretty tight. The flipper tab is all right too. We have a flipper tab that not really one that I would say, unless you button, like you push button it, it's almost at an angle, then it's okay. I think on this one, I would prefer to light switch it. This is slightly smaller than I expected it to be. I'm not sure if I like that more or less, because the reason I say I'm not sure is because this is still plenty big enough for me to get a full grip on. A lot of times, especially with a flipper, I say I want it 8 inches plus just because of what I expect for the handle length and where I expect the flipper tab to sort of cut you off ergonomically. But they did a really good job here, and the blade to handle ratio is also really good. I suspect that this is slightly under 8 inches, but maybe I'm wrong. Let's find out. Nope, I'm wrong. It's 8 inches on the dot. Okay. Maybe I should listen to my intuition and the reason that I have the preferences that I have, right? If your hands are smaller than mine, I wear an XL glove. If your hands are smaller than mine, that's your preferences are obviously going to be different, right? And for a number of other reasons. 3.5 inch blade and a 3 1/4 inch cutting edge. I wonder if this is probably why Neves told me to check this out. It's really nice. It's got that Reate essence, and the details I think are in, they're in this knife when you look a little bit closer. Initially, you're like, that's kind of devoid of any personality. But then you look closer and there's some really cool stuff. Here's another thing that I think is really cool. Number one, the pocket clip hardware is completely hidden. We only have 2 exterior frame screws, which means the backspacer likely has a pin somewhere. Can we see it? Where are you? Likely some sort of secret pin or something that's holding it in place. So there's only a couple of screws, the pivot and 2 body screws for disassembly, which is really, really neat. Unless that pocket clip screw, there's no way. You wouldn't need the pocket clip screw for disassembly. So Reate has made this knife exceptionally easy to take apart and put back together, which is something that I very much love. These are expensive, pretty sure. So far, if I remember the price correctly, the knife is cool, but there's nothing here that's like, that you should definitely pay, unless I'm misremembering, unless I'm thinking of that integral. I might be mixing this thing up with the ventilated integral that they came out with. It was really, really wild. This knife might have a lesser price tag, and I'll have to consider that when I do the final review. But I still want to spend some time with this before I do that. It does have milling for weight reduction. So full tie M390. I'm going to guess this knife weighs maybe a little over 4 ounces. Little over 4 ounces. That's my guess here. Okay, 4.5. 4 points. Oh, we had a late 4.7. Okay, 4.7 ounces. Not terrible for full tie. Slightly on the heavier side. That's about what the G10 Ritter Hogue weighs. We'll do a couple of size comparisons with knives that are somewhat comparable in size. Ritter Hogue, RSK MK1 G2, Demco 80, 20.5. Kershaw Blur, why not? It's right there. Spyderco PM2. It's going to look real big because that's the bottom, but the PM2 is only ever so slightly longer than this knife. What's another good one? Sure, let's do the Deca. Why not? Hogue Deca, and we'll do the Benchmade Bug Out since they're all right here. Okay, interesting knife. I do like the overall profile, nice and straight. Love a really elongated, aggressive compound harpoon tanto, really cool. Seems like there should have been some anodizing. Seems like some opportunities for a little bit of anodizing, a little bit of color pop in there. It's all gray, and that's fine. But there's not a lot going on here. It's okay, right? This is all aesthetic preference. But initially, that's kind of my thought. You can tell me what you think. I'll link this down in the comments. It's built just as nice as every other Reate I've ever handled. Absolutely insane quality, right? I'm just getting picky. I'm getting picky, and I'm getting old. I'm 37. Okay. I have no idea where that card went. I tossed it. There it is. Links for this down in the description. Check out eKnives. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on the Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.